vodka, ginger beer, and lime juice poured over ice in a classic copper mug. Sounds like the perfect refresher for any cocktail drinker, avid or otherwise. Well, it's already served at bars and in bottles and cans at stores all around the world, and it's called the Moscow Mule. If you're new to my channel, I'm Laura Youngblood, and welcome to From Laura's Perspective. In this particular series, of which I have many, I share quick, fun facts about something specific, whether it's a cocktail, a game, a pastime, a hair accessory, a gemstone, or a bird, just to name a few examples. The topics my video essays cover are versatile, so if that's what you're looking for, smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so your phone goes off every time I publish new content. If you're not new, you know that this is my third fun facts video about a popular cocktail, and I've even made a countdowns video ranking the most popular cocktails recognized by the IBA, which the Moscow Mule ranked on. When a cocktail's been as popular as the Moscow Mule for over 50 years, people tend to assume that something with such a name originated in Russia, which you can't really blame them for, given that its base liquor is vodka, a drink commonly associated with Russia and Eastern Europe. But it didn't. One day in 1941, Russian immigrant to the U.S. Sophie Berezinski walked into the Cock and Bull bar in California, hoping to sell the copper mugs she and her father made, a business that wasn't doing too well. Cock and Bull wasn't doing all that great itself, with owner Jack Morgan having all this vodka and all this ginger beer in stock, neither of which anyone wanted to buy. When these struggling business people met, they made it a goal to mix a drink that would bring together the fizzy nature of the ginger beer, the punch of the vodka, and the cold properties of copper to create the next biggest cocktail, more on the latter in fact number 5. After a number of taste tests and a few failed concoctions, they stumbled upon a recipe for a cocktail that would solve all their problems. Thus, the Moscow Mule was born. After the Russian Revolution, Russian expat Rudolf Kunit moved the Smirnoff Vodka Company to the U.S., but vodka was so unpopular in America that, in order to avoid bankruptcy, Kunit had no choice but to sell his brand to John Martin, the head of the Huebline Company, the same company that made A1 steak sauce. When Martin heard of the increasingly popular copper mug cocktail they'd started making at Cock and Bull, he figured one thing that might help Smirnoff would be to sell this cocktail using Smirnoff brand vodka and calling it the Smirnoff Mule. With the dramatic sales in Smirnoff vodka that came with being associated with the Moscow Mule, both Kunit's and Martin's respective businesses were saved. Today, Smirnoff is one of the best-known vodka companies in America, but no one would have guessed that before the dawn of the Moscow Mule, when the Smirnoff Company was a small business that was all but dying. At the peak of McCarthyism during the Cold War, when anyone or anything with Russian ties was blacklisted, bartenders all across America organized a boycott against the Smirnoff Mule and Smirnoff Vodka. However, it was eventually confirmed that Smirnoff Vodka was not, in fact, involved in any anti-American conspiracies, and both the Moscow Mule and the Smirnoff Company survived these slanderous rumors. Think the inventor of the Moscow Mule randomly mixed vodka and ginger beer and thought, "Wow, that tastes good. Let's serve it in bars." Well, that's not quite what happened. At the time of the Moscow Mule's invention and rise in popularity, no one cared much for ginger beer, and the same went for vodka. Spirits distributor John G. Martin wanted to invent a new cocktail to help business at the Cock and Bull Bar using Smirnoff vodka, and experimented with mixing vodka into the equally unpopular Cock and Bull ginger beer. Although these two drinks did not stand well on their own, drinkers found that they made a great team, and this cocktail took off. So we've already talked about the Moscow Mule's signature copper mug quite a bit in this video. But what exactly is it about the copper mug that led it to be the serving vessel for the Moscow Mule? Well, the mug isn't just cool to look at and a signature look for serving the cocktail, but there's an actual science behind its use. A popular cocktail during the warmer months, a Moscow Mule served in copper mugs is frosty and cold in any weather, as copper is a great thermal conductor. A little ice added to Moscow Mule's copper mugs instantly chills the drink and provides a chilling sensation at the rim. As you might have learned from my previous cocktail videos, any cocktail worth its salt thinks outside the box and comes in enough different forms for a wide array of people to enjoy. Well, the Moscow Mule is no exception. The very popular French Mule blends ginger beer and lime juice with cognac and Angostura bitters, which, as I mentioned in my video on mojitos, are used to offset what many consider to be an excessively sweet taste in a drink such as ginger beer and/or lime juice. Of course, the Irish Mule uses Irish whiskey in place of vodka, and the Kentucky Mule, aka the horse feather, uses bourbon whiskey. The Mexican Mule uses tequila in place of vodka, and a special version of this called the Mezcal Mule, hence its name, uses mezcal. Hence their respective names. The Southern Mule uses Southern Comfort liqueur, and the Tennessee Mule uses Tennessee whiskey. Then there's the Moscow Mule, which is made of vodka, lime juice, and Mountain Dew. Thank you all so much for watching. One would never guess that such a popular cocktail could be invented through a chance meeting between struggling business people, but that's how we got the Moscow Mule. It was never a secret that the Moscow Mule copper mug looked hip and trendy, but little do many know that there's an actual science behind why the cocktail is served in them. That's actually the case with most cocktail and other drinking glasses, something I go into great depth into in my video, Drinking Glasses Explained. I've included the link to this video up on your screen, as well as links to other content of mine you might like if you liked this video. And if you like all that, subscribe to my channel and to join my video essay library. It doesn't cost one single penny, so what's stopping you?